It's 2 degrees here. Right now it's going up to 6. A little bit rainy, but that's what we got happening here in Moncton. Now, where's everyone else? Christopher's on in the UK, and Ida Marie's on in Washington, D.C. Ron's on in Washington State. Steven's on in Australia. Talking about Snail Mail with Smokey's latest video. And then talking about the 30th or 3,000th subscriber. Okay, and Christopher's on in Washington State. Jane's on in South Carolina. So welcome, everybody, to another week of us chit-chatting as a group and finding out what's going on and what we're interested this week. I'm on vacation, so that's the excitement here. What am I going to do on my vacation? I don't know. It's not one of these planned vacations where my wife's off at the same time. She's working, so not really going anywhere. Ushild's on in Norway. Yeah, positive thoughts up to Smokey on his health struggles, so hopefully everything goes well. I'm glad he shared that. Yeah, so this week I think it's going to be pretty low-key. I might go to St. John. That's part of, so hour and a half down the road. That's where my sister Carolyn lives, and we thought maybe it would be fun to get together in her city and go see a couple cafes and things there. So I might do a video about that if the weather holds up and get a chance to go down. That's one of my plans. There is also something going on. Well, there's a place called the Midland Ice Caves. I've wanted to see it for a very long time. You only can get there, of course, in the wintertime to get the experience. It's just a matter of whether it's going to work out for me to drive down. But that's something I'd like to do this week, too, if I get a chance. And hopefully if I get someone to do it with me, because I don't really want to go hike it by myself. And then otherwise, I've got stamps to sort and postcards to write, so I want to take some time and do that. I've got the book that Ushild sent me that I want to get into reading. I started a little bit this morning. Eating videos are fun. Yeah, I enjoy them, but I do have to be careful. And one of the things Carolyn and I started talking about is maybe we should do a video on healthy eating spots that might be available in town, too. So we might look at doing that and mix things up a little bit on one day, just to help our bodies so we don't explode. We seem to eat ourselves into a stupor lately, just for the fun of it. So we've been getting to show off lots of places, but sometimes at the end of it, we're feeling a little queasy. So yeah. So what's going on with you guys? What's the weather like where you are? Are you having spring now? Are you having fall? Tonight in the wee hours, of course, here in Moncton anyways, in New Brunswick, we are doing daylight savings time, so we're going to lose an hour as our clocks spring forward. And Jane's having a healthy Pop-Tart right now. What flavor Pop-Tart are you eating? Pop-Tarts were never my favorite thing. You know, the strawberry jam inside of it was kind of an artificial taste to it, and the frosting on the outside was kind of a hard and crispy. It was never my sweet tooth. It never fell in that way. 10 degrees Celsius in Falmouth and dry. Very nice. You're having a raspberry flavored one, okay? Now, do you eat them in a toaster? Do you eat them dry right out of the package? I want to see the space wrapping, because that's what it kind of looked like when I was a kid. Those foil wrappers that they came in that you ripped into. Oh, Charmaine's on in Maine. Good morning. You had a little bit of a frost this morning, did you, Christopher? Okay, so, but now it's warmed up. Roger's on in Athens. 15 degrees there. Yeah, very nice stamps on Smokey's video. Thanks to Stephen sending in his top 10 list there with the nice details that go along with them. Ida Marie says spring for sure, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. A little bit of sun after work. Did I see the Prime Minister Carney's presentation in the Australian Parliament? I didn't. I heard highlights of it. I saw that he got a standing ovation when he entered the room, which was kind of cool. But yeah, I heard the highlights of, you know, Canada and Australia forming more of alliance. The middle-sized countries getting together and doing a lot more trade. Great idea. It was icy this morning for Charmaine. Okay. We had a cold day yesterday. And it's warmed up today. It's going to be warm, I think, for the next few days, and then we'll see midweek whether temperatures dip back down. But I know on Tuesday they're calling for 14 degrees, so that'll be nice. That'll melt some snow quickly. Oh, Monty's on in Saskatchewan, currently -1 degree Celsius, so that's a warmer day for you. Mitty is on in Finland. She's in Tallinn, watching figure skating, the World Juniors. Enjoy, enjoy. Jane's been enjoying 80s Fahrenheit all week. You can send it to Canada, absolutely. Love to have some of that heat. Can't wait for spring to be in full bloom and the flowers out and the snow all gone and maybe the ground firmed back up again. Usheld says it's 4 degrees and sun in Trondheim in Norway. Oh, most of your snow's already gone. Well, good for you. That means that spring is well underway. I think right now on the forecast, it's calling for snow next Wednesday here after it being 14 degrees. So we'll see what if it shows up, first of all, if it gets here, how much we get, and how long it stays. Charmaine couldn't go out of her front porch until a few minutes ago because of the ice. Wow. Yeah, don't want to have any falls. Nice decorating session last Wednesday. Yes, the participants returned, which was very nice. I was kind of concerned from 2 weeks ago when not many people were on. And then those that were on didn't really want to participate too much. I was thinking it might be coming to an end. Oh, Dawood's on in Poland. Welcome. Oh, and I want to give for those of you who know La Coustache in Canada, Nina is her name. She's become a newly minted Canadian, so congratulations to Nina. Welcome to the Canadian family. Charmaine says it's now raining and 33 degrees, so it's a little chilly. Well, probably very similar to what we're having right here. Yeah. But yeah, so lots of things going on in the background. Last Wednesday, I think, during the decorating, I talked about Polo not being very well. He's kind of rebounded, so I think he had a bit of a sickness early on in the week. He seems to be doing better. So I'm glad that he's rebounded a bit. Good morning, good morning. So yeah, he's eating again. He's still smaller than he was, so he's eating less. We know that he is a senior citizen now, and we worry about him, but he is moving and swimming and doing all the fun things, so thank you for that. And anybody who's thinking about him, thank you as well. Those are lots of emojis. Great emojis. Welcome. Yeah, we're happy that Polo seems to be feeling a bit better too. We were very concerned about him earlier this week that he wasn't going to make it. The snow melts and coming again. Yeah, that seems to be the routine that we have here in the end of winter. It kind of gets you excited. We get some warm temperatures. You think, oh, spring is here, and then you get walloped with another snowfall. So you kind of get one of those fake springs. But we shall see. Every day that we do get snow, it doesn't last very long anymore. So today is International Women's Day. Okay, so happy International Women's Day to everyone. Yeah, maybe you caught a little bit of a cold going around that. Coming week, -10 again. Where are you located that you're getting -10? I think we're 6 today and maybe 9 tomorrow and 12 on Monday and 14 on Tuesday. And then I think it's going to get cold again on Wednesday is what it's looking like. Oh, you're already into spring, Dawood. That's awesome. Roger got his first issue from Greece. 200th anniversary of the outing of Missolonghi, 1866 to 2026. I'm unfamiliar with Missolonghi. Oh, you're in Calgary. Okay, well, you're familiar with having a good old Chinook and it warming up and then getting blasted with cold air and snow again. Your Chinooks usually come in January, though. I think that's a fake spring, isn't it? My brother used to live in Calgary for a long time. Well, hopefully in Calgary, things go well and it becomes a real spring very soon. I've been interested in watching some of the baseball that's going on, the spring training that's already started. Even though there's still hockey going on too, and there's basketball going on. And there's some trades going on in football, so there's lots of different activity happening. And most of all, tomorrow is F1 race number 1. So I see Mercedes has the top 2 positions on to start the race. We'll see what everybody else does. And we've got a new team in it with, well, Cadillac and Audi, so really 2 new teams. I'm in Moncton on the East Coast in New Brunswick. Yeah, pets can break your heart. Oh, your son, you got the house to yourself. Your son's going out. Hopefully you've done all the cleaning that you wanted to do, Ashil. So you can enjoy some time to yourself too. Maybe do a little reading or work on your stamps. Paralympics, yeah. I see Canada's won a couple medals already today in the Paralympics. Oh, Dakota says hello to everyone. Meow, meow. Just don't fall over. Put your feet on the table. Yeah, make sure your rear end is somewhere else, sitting in the sitting position probably. Otherwise, you'll be standing on the table. Stephen's got 25 degrees already. Very nice. Even 15 to 17 at night's pretty nice. Yeah, safety first for everybody, not just the ladies, but where it's International Women's Month, according to Stephen, and yeah, especially them. There was another post I saw. Was it today or yesterday? Oh, well, can't remember what it was. There was something else that caught my attention that someone was going through, and congratulations going to them. Some sympathies going out to Debbie in Ohio. Is going to have to put her cat down on Monday, so that's a sad day for her. My daughter's roommate lost her grandmother, so we went to a visitation earlier this week. Funeral was yesterday. Other friends of ours today, her father passed away on Thursday, so there's been some ups and there's been some downs to this week for sure. So not everything is always rosy and perfect, so life gives you those speed bumps. You just have to work your way through them. USPS may run out of money. That's not good. That means some major changes are coming into that department. You're going into fall, Stephen, so you're cooling off a little bit. Oh, Charmaine had a friend who lost her mother on Wednesday. That's, we talk about the troubles of having pets and the downside of being pet parents or whatever you want to call yourselves, guardians. That's hard, but also it's hard when you get older and your parents get older, or your siblings get older, your friends get older. There's all sorts of that life just happens around you, doesn't it? Doesn't stop. The wheel keeps spinning. Life's like that. We never know who's left us. Yeah, life is like that. So that's why we try to keep positive as much as we can. Don't focus on all the negative things that are going on in the world if you can help it. And that's kind of what I try to do on this channel, is try to remain upbeat, but also give you that line in between to know that sometimes you're just not okay. And that's okay too. I sometimes take days off because I just don't feel like putting out a YouTube video or communicating. I've had Fridays where my sisters come to town and said, I don't really feel like getting together for lunch today because it wasn't one of those days. Always be kind, yep, because you never know what people are going through. That's why I'm very happy that I've got the That Dad Guy crew. You guys are always so kind, so generous, opening to everybody who comes on here. New faces arrive on Saturdays for live streams, and you guys are always very welcoming for them to come, so that's great. I didn't tell my niece about the Serena cake, the Norwegian Christmas cookies, because they'd already gone by the time I'd heard that from you, but I have forwarded the recipe you gave me on to my sister in case she would like to cook them with her daughter. Always be kind and helpful when you can. Yep, exactly, Stephen. Tough times sometimes. Yep, be kind. Ida Marie. Nice that there's 19 people on. 10 thumbs up, so keep liking if you can. I've noticed that we're kind of in those winter blues when it comes to watching YouTube videos right now. The views on my videos have gone down, which they tend to do in those early months in winter. But I kind of noticed them a little bit more of late, so hopefully some of these subscribers will pick up and watch again. Kindness and manners costs nothing, that's for sure. Serena was so funny. Serena is actually spelt with 2 A's, but that's all right. Serena was so funny in the videos, especially when she gave you the silent treatment. She's like that a lot. She's super excited to be in the videos when she was, and you've probably seen her through the years you've been watching. Sometimes she went from just kind of photo bombing in the background, won't say anything. She's a little bit more now. But yeah, sometimes it's very hard to get her to say anything. So my sister fills in for sure. Yeah, keep the U.S. in your thoughts. Keep everybody in their thoughts. Iran, Israel, Ukraine, Russia, Korea, Taiwan. The list can go on and on and on and on. Have I got any holidays planned for? Yeah, this week I'm on holiday. So this whole week coming up. As far as holidays going anywhere, the only holiday we have planned going anywhere right now is up to Montreal in June for Daya's convocation as she graduates university. So that's the only planned outing away we have right now. Christopher says the peach tree out front has pink blossoms on it, so winter is over here. Wow, that's awesome. You must be excited about that you're moving into spring already. Charmaine can't wait for warmer weathers so she can go to road trips in her new car. That's great. Ada Cole, welcome. Your new sub, perfect. Thank you. But generally, rather than saying shout me out, you can just say hello. Hyacinths smell good. Some have bloomed around work. When do your cherry trees in Washington, D.C. start to bloom? When do you start to see that? Yeah, Day is graduating this year. Very exciting. Time is flying by. Monday's a public holiday in Adelaide. It's a horse race, so Adelaide Cup, okay? $26 people on, 14 thumbs up. Let's keep those likes going. Keep promoting this as much as we can. There's a couple things you didn't see on the March break. On Thursday, I put out a video showing that we went to the farm and 3 different restaurants, I think, with Serena and Carolyn. And then we went out to another restaurant in the evening for supper. I hardly ate anything. We went to a Vietnamese place, and we had really good pho, but I couldn't finish it. So, or pho. So, it was just too much in one day. Roger said they've had the warmest February this year. Well, there's only one February in a year, isn't there? And David's on in Nova Scotia, 5 degrees, cloudy. Very nice. Oh, Bill Sweeney's on. Welcome, Bill. 82 degrees Fahrenheit there. Spring's just around the corner, hopefully for everybody. Cherry blossoms will peak late because of the snow. So last weekend of March. Well, still not that far away when you think we're already finished the first week of March. Next weekend is the Stamp Festival again, or the Stamp Show again. So I'm looking forward to that. Seeing what I can pick up about future things. I've only got one country left in my father's stamp collection for the Americas to talk about, so that we're going to be moving on to another one. The overall seems that people want to talk about British stamps and maybe do a few parts on that. We'll see. She'll said I had some great photos from the farm. Thank you. Would make nice postcards. Okay. Make it back to see that farm again in the summer. Jane found Girl Scout cookies. Okay, that's harkening back to what we talked about last week when I said that Canada really doesn't get very many flavors of the Girl Scout cookies. We get the chocolate and vanilla boxes, and I think we get the mint ones. I think we confirmed on that one. But the mint ones are harder to find. So hopefully you enjoyed a couple Girl Scout cookies for me. Oh, Fran's on. 70 degrees Fahrenheit there. Fran, is it West Virginia again? I'm trying to remember exactly what state you're in. Philip's on in Kentucky. Have some warm weather there. Item Reach got stamp show at the end of March. Fran's going to be looking for some cookies too. You guys and your cookies. Rob, you could do a different range of British stamps if you want to break it. A different range. Yeah, I could do it by monarch, even though Queen Elizabeth II would certainly encompass a long period of time. West Virginia could have got that right. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, that's a good suggestion. I'll keep the suggestions coming on it. The other thing I thought about when it comes to Great Britain and stamps, are there lots of little islands like Hearn Island and things like that too that issue stamps within the confounds of everything else. So how to encompass that in. So you could do one on Royal Mail issues on Great Britain. You could break it down too into Scotland and Northern Ireland and Wales on some of the other separate issues that they do, but similar stamps. So yeah, I'm trying to think of how to attack that subject because it can be quite, not cumbersome, but complex. Bill's in South Carolina. Bill's down there with Jane in South Carolina. Yeah, Charmaine from Maine. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth II in decades. Yeah. Oh, Philip's got a stamp show on the 21st. You heard about a fire near me where an EV was charging and caught fire? I didn't hear anything about that. My EV works just fine. Jersey, Guernsey, Isle of Man, yeah, all sorts of ones we could do for stamps there too. And it could be a different way to tackle it rather than tackle the well-known Royal Mail stamps that are there. Go and talk more about Isle of Man and that. Maybe start that way. That might be an interesting way to do it. And the history of those areas. Yeah, kind of like that. Might meet at the stamp show. I better start looking next week for some Jersey and Guernsey and Isle of Man stamps. Might Christopher, that might be a great idea, actually. Big June stamp show rescheduled because of Boston 2026. Okay. Sark, I'd have to look on that. You know what, Stephen? If you get a list of areas that you think, send it to me, and then next week when I'm at the stamp show, I'll kind of have a look around and see if I can find any from all these other places. It might be interesting to see what I can find here at my stamp show from places like Isle of Man and Guernsey and Sark, if I can find anything for that. Sark issued their first stamps last year. Okay, well then I probably won't find their stamps if that's the case. I don't even... All right, Sark, I gotta look this up. I don't know what... What is Sark? A tiny car-free island in the English Channel, part of the Bailiwick of Guernsey and self-governing British Crown dependency, known as the Dark Sky Destination. Okay, interesting. Then I wouldn't know that. Spartanburg, South Carolina. It's a nice name. $18 people on, 18 thumbs up. We're all evened up now. Alderney are both part of Guernsey, okay. But now they both issue separate stamps. Lundy stamps. Yeah, I think my dad might even have some Lundy stamps. So that's why I'd like a list. If you, Stephen, I'm gonna put the task to you. I mean, any of you guys can send me a message on Instagram, but send me the regions that are the independent dependencies that would have separate stamps than the ones that the Royal Mail issues, that would have their names on it, like Isle of Man, and then that way I could go do it. Go and look. South Carolina is one of the original 13th. Yep. I'm listening to the rain melting off of the, well, I guess it's the snow melting off the roof. Not that there's much snow up there anymore. Oh, Bill's from Maine originally. I didn't know that. I knew you were in South Carolina, but I didn't know you were originally from Maine. Isn't a small world. Charmaine's in Maine, but she's from Colorado, so people all moving around. Yippah, you're a New Englander. And Christopher's an Old Englander. I'll be excited. We'll be getting into festival season again soon. Not like the Hot Chocolate Festival, but when the car shows come to town again and things like that. I can't wait to get outside and start filming those things. Yeah, some nice lighthouses in Maine. Well, all the way up the Atlantic coast, especially when you get to Atlantic Canada. We got lighthouses everywhere. Maine lobster's okay. If you want good lobster, you gotta come to New Brunswick. And there's a little beef between New Brunswick and Maine and their lobsters. Michelle's going to Magic Men in May. Is Magic anything like Magic Men, like Magic Mike? These male strippers or dancers? What's Magic Men? I'd love to live in Martha's Vineyard. So, Christopher, have you ever been to Martha's Vineyard? Did Martha mind you showing up in her vineyard? Jane started following a 90-year-old piano player on Instagram. He's from Lutz Mountain. Lutz Mountain here in Moncton? Is that what you're talking about? There's a 90-year-old on Instagram from Lutz Mountain here in New Brunswick? Well, enjoy your stripper men. Are they from down under? I don't know if Magic Men are... Or Magic Men Swedish. I can't remember. Magic Mike, I know, was an American thing that turned into a movie, but... Philip likes lighthouses on stamps. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Great Lakes have nice ones too, yeah. Charmaine wants to go to Lubeck in June. Go see the lighthouse. In your new car. No, but would love to. So what draws you to Martha's Vineyard? What specifically do you like about it? I'm sure Norway has some beautiful lighthouses as well, being on the coast. Charmaine has a page of lighthouse stamps. Yeah, Lutz Mountain is not very... it's part of Moncton. It is. We have a place called Magic Mountain, not to be confused with Magic Men, but that's where the water park is. And Lutz Mountain is right there. Well, I'm glad, Jane, you found somebody else from New Brunswick as well that you're interested. Have I ever done lighthouses on stamps? It seems to me we have, but maybe we haven't. Maybe that is a good topic coming up. I have to come up with a few new ones soon. I have this month. I have next month taken care of, and then we'll be back into getting ready for a couple more. I think Magic Men come from Australia. Okay. Hopefully your friend is going with you for that Christmas gift, so you can have someone to accompany you. Lupins will be blooming in June. Yeah, beautiful. It'll look just like the postcard that you have already made up. Kennebunkport is a nice, lovely town. Yeah, that's where President Bush had his summer home. New England style. You just like the scenery there. Okay. Lighthouses on stamps would be nice. All right, maybe that is a... We'll just have to figure out which month to do that. I already kind of have an idea of how I could talk about that, and so yeah, I like the idea. Perfect, Ashil. You will have a fantastic time with lots of laughs, I'm sure. The film Jaws was based in New England, yep. He's been to every state in New England. Well, next time you'll have to cross the border and come up into Canada. April, I've already got a topic in mind, but we shall see. March, April are done. May is the next one I'll be confirming with. And I'll probably do May, June, July, maybe even August, get all those months all done in advance, so my lovely, generous people that are helping contribute can start planning for it. Oh, Magic Men are from Australia. Been confirmed by Stephen. There's nothing wrong with going to things like that, Ashil. Everyone's got to have fun. And sure, it would be very fun for people to go see. Oh, you're planning on going into Canada? How far into Canada, Charmaine, are you gonna come? Yeah, Stephen's got some real family issues of some poor Thomas and yeah, Matilda. What's going on there? I'm sure it will be fun. New Brunswick? Well, fancy that. How far into New Brunswick will you go? Will you come all the way to Moncton? Oh, you're just crossing over the border and then popping back again. What's all this talk about Wayne Gretzky? All right, well, if you decide to make a further trip in, let me know. Yeah, if you came to Moncton, there could be a meetup. Ooh, we could do a live stream and both of us could be on. The ongoing saga of Matilda and Company. I can see Matilda and Company's story. I mean, you should really be putting these all together in a book. But if you're thinking of them weekly, you should be saving those excerpts and paging them together. I think that'd be good. Jane says she sees her toilet paper just been delivered by FedEx. Okay. It's very useful to have around. Hopefully, they didn't leave it out in the rain. Hopefully, it's not raining at all. How far is Moncton from Lubeck? I don't know. St. Stephen, if you were crossing there from St. Stephen and Calais, it's about 2.5 hours to the border from Moncton. I don't know how fast you drive in your new vehicle. Maybe you travel quicker. Yeah, I mean, it will be a longer trip from where you begin to Moncton. You certainly wouldn't want to do that and back in the same day. That would be a long day. But if you were out having a vacation, don't we have speed limits? Absolutely, we have speed limits. Does everybody follow the speed limits? Not always. In New Brunswick, on a highway speed, the speed limit's 110 kilometers an hour. But it's quite regularly that people do 20 over on the highways. So you're doing 130 kilometers, and then there's the people that speed. So the people that are going faster than 130 kilometers, which then you can get pulled over by the RCMP. And you probably wouldn't want to do that in a Main license plate. As long as FedEx isn't picking up the toilet paper. Yeah, you'd have to put your speedometer to kilometers or kilometers. We certainly not drive as fast as we can. You don't drive as fast as you can? What do you mean? People don't go to the speed limit, or the speed limit isn't as high as it is here. Good commodity. Nobody must, hopefully nobody steals your toilet paper. Oh, you're staying in Lubeck for a couple of days. Okay, so that'll break up your trip a bit. $208 miles from Moncton to Lubeck. Okay. Steven's looked it up. No matter how fast the car can drive, we should follow the speed limit. That seems like a very organized way to do it. Not everybody does that. Is FedEx delivering from Costco? Is that where you're buying in bulk? I know you said your Costco's a little bit further away, though. Charmaine's not used to having the digital speedometer, but I like the digital speedometer. My car has one that projects it into the windscreen, so when you're driving, you don't have to look down at it. It's showing in the windscreen. It also shows you the lanes and things too. So if you're having your navigation system on and telling you which way to turn, it shows up inside the windshield. I think that's kind of cool. I feel like I'm living in the future. About a 4-hour drive. Well, we'll see how fast you drive. Yeah, highway speeds are just suggestions. Some places, yes, they do that. If you know that the police are present around, they're more than just suggestions. You'll see people's speed go down. I know when you cross into the province of Quebec from New Brunswick, they have photo radar, so people don't drive nearly as fast because they may show up at their house one day and have a ticket in the mail waiting for them. I shall get a fine for speeding. Uh-oh. How fast over the speed limit were you going? Is it a hefty fine in Norway for speeding? Oh, from Sam's Club. Okay. Paper towels are coming Monday. If you have the space to store it, buying in bulk usually will save you a little bit in the long run. When you're in the north in the summer for a holiday. I'm not sure what the current price is for a speeding ticket these days. 2,000 or 3,000. What does that convert into Canadian dollars? Because I'm sure that wasn't your Canadian dollar conversion rate. Otherwise, that is a ridiculously high speeding ticket, and no one would be speeding. At least not here if that was the speed limit. So you're doing 80 kilometers in a what zone? What was the zone rated for? Oh, you don't know. I don't. See if I can bring it up and do a conversion. Otherwise, someone else I know will. Just don't flip off a cop in an unmarked car. Don't ask me how I know. Oh, come on, Jane. You didn't do that. You're too proper to be flipping anybody off. Have I looked inside the... I've opened one of the 4 envelopes. I am going to open the other ones because before I do a video about it, I want to know how I have to set them out. So yeah, I will open the other ones. I haven't yet, though. I opened the first one, saw how many stamps were there. I was like, wow. And this was one bag of 4. That's why I kind of wanted to know what was in the envelopes before I started breaking into them, just in case it was something that was better done on opening on camera. O'Shea was doing 55 in a 40 zone. Forgot to slow down. So not that fast over. But the police must have been there waiting for you. Monty stays fairly close to the speed limit because it's more fun things to spend my money on than traffic tickets. Yeah, that's a very good point. I didn't think they'd be checking on those roads up in the north. Okay. Christopher says $750 fine for 20 over in a 50 mile per hour. Well, going 20 miles per hour over the speed limit is quite a lot more than doing 20 over in a kilometer zone. That's still a hefty fine, $750. Yeah, I'm sure your new car has a little bit of giddy up and go in it. New cars tend to. You get a fine for doing 80 in a 70 zone? That's pretty stingy. It's pretty close. Oh, it was a photo box. You got a photo radar. Yeah, the cameras really can catch you. There's no forgiveness in those ones. Charmaine tries to do the speed limit. Very good. Oh, Phillips teaches biology to state and local police academy cadets. Well, maybe they need to help you out. So for every 1 Norwegian krone, it is 14 cents Canadian. So 2,000 Norwegian krone equals $283 as a ticket. That'd still make you slow down. So there, I had the conversion for it. So if you think it could have been 3,000, that's almost a $500 ticket, $424. Yeah, we want to spend our money on other things, not speeding tickets. The other downside about traveling too fast, deer, moose, whatever run out into the road, you just don't have time to react. So it can cost you a lot more than a speeding ticket. Good for say, they have a lot of 20 mile per hour zones where you live. You have mile per hour zones in the UK? No. 20 kilometer hour zones? You must be in like a school zone to have it that slow. 35 kilometer hour zone is a school zone here. 50 is normal city streets. 100 is a bypass highway through a street or through a city, and then usually 110 on open freeways. Some are higher than that, 120 kilometer hours. Oh, mile per hour, really? Okay. Very strange. I never would have thought in the UK. You had 2 deer running out in front of you on Sunday. Yeah, good thing. Be careful. I see deer on my mail route almost every day. I'm not crazy about driving at night either anymore. I do it if I'm driving at night. I wear glasses now, so another sign of my age. Oh, there goes Ari. He's off to work on a Saturday, or at least he's out of the house on a Saturday. No discounts for the cops. Yeah, our cars here, I mean, kilometer per hour is at the top, and then mile per hour is usually below it here in the country. If you have a digital speedometer, you'll have to kind of, I think there's a toggle switch, you can switch it over to miles per hour. But all of our signs are in Canada are kilometers per hour. And all of our destination is all in kilometers. Charmaine can see deer in her trailer park. Fran sees deer in her yard all the time too. This doesn't mean that we're all living in the country because I live in the city. Just nature is right there. Are deer super intelligent? I mean, they know where the food is. They come back to the food. My sister has deer in her backyard all the time just because she has an apple tree, so they show up and eat the apples or eat the tops of her flowers and things. They're a nuisance for her. Just as her flowers, like her rose bushes, are getting to bloom, the deer will come and take the heads off all of them, so she doesn't get to enjoy them. I had Maurice's deer wander over down the street from her too. Well, so even in DC, you can find deer showing up. But as we expand our cities and tear down more forests, the deer have to find places to go to get their food, and so do the other animals. So you find them in cities more and more often, staying in parks and things like that. Fran says the deer eat their flowers too. Yeah, that's a nuisance. Philip's gone through the same thing. Deer visiting his apple trees and gardens. Charmaine's got wild turkeys. I don't know any wild turkeys. I mean, they're in the province, but no wild turkeys here. Exactly, Jane. Exactly. Foxes, bangers, deer. Okay, I don't know what a banger is. I know what foxes are. We have foxes here. We have deer here. But what's a banger? No deer in Ridgedale this winter. Now, is that an uncommon thing, or would you normally have deer in your part of Saskatchewan? You have a fox coming up on your balcony. How do the fox and the cat get along? Raccoons get into the trash. Yep, they're very. Speaking of indulgent animals, they're very indulgent animals. You had a possum hanging out in the neighborhood. Marie, okay. You gave him an unboiled egg. Isn't an unboiled egg just an egg? Oh, a badger, not banger. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. Oh, hedgehogs in the garden. Okay, normally get quite a few in Saskatchewan, okay? I've seen kangaroos in your countrysides before. Very impressive, especially on a train, and you can see them hopping along by the train tracks. Woodpeckers are fun. They can be annoying, especially if they're banging against your drain spouts. They can be very destructive too on telephone poles. You can't hear the birds now. There are birds around. Yes, definitely was a badger. Cat's chasing the fox. That's a brave cat. Wombat. Steve, do you get any wombats? Okay, what's a cheeseburger bird? Is that a seagull? We call them flying rats. Jane's been woken up by birds at 3 a.m. Yeah, there are, Charmaine, there are more birds. There are more birds in the spring and the summertime, of course. But I certainly still hear birds around now. Whether it's blue jays or seagulls or crows and blackbirds, and they're all around. Yeah, but all the other birds will make their way back up. yellow finches and things like that. The little birds. We have a deciduous cherry tree in our front yard that always has fruit on it. And of course, when you go through the winter, all those berries have been fermenting. So the birds come along and eat them. They all kind of act a little bit drunk. Charmaine loves seeing the baby ducks. Yeah, baby ducks, baby swans. Very cute. Australian Rescue Sanctuary had a fun Instagram. I'm sure they did. Some animals that we don't necessarily see here. I don't know what the bird is that sounds like it's saying cheeseburger. What kind of bird is that, David? When should you buy a bird? I don't know. What's the end of that joke? When do you buy a bird? Lots of seagulls. Noisy. Yes, they are. Jenna Wagner from the UK. Is that correct? It's been a while since you've been on. I do remember the name. Or is it Jenna Wagner from Germany? Yeah, no. It's from the UK. Yes, well, welcome back. It has been a while. Been a minute. Hopefully you're doing well. When it's going cheap, that's when you buy a bird. When it's going cheap, 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 cheap. Item refeeds cardinals in the morning. Birds tell me when they fail to keep bird feeders full, they have pecked in the window. Yeah, they can be smart that way, Philip. Chickadees, I love chickadees. So, Jenna, what have you been up to? What's going on? Rushfield's national bird in Norway is the foxgull. I don't know if they exist in Canada. Maybe they call them something different. Let's see if I can pull that up and see what it says. White-throated, what's it called? A white-throated dipper bird is what they're called. I don't know if we have them or not. Magpies are smart. Yeah, I've heard magpies are very smart. If it comes to you after the stream, you'll have to send me a message, David. Let me know what the bird is. And maybe they are a common bird. Maybe I've never heard it referred to as a cheeseburger bird before. The USA, the eagle's the national bird. Yeah, and there's more eagles in Canada, though. We used to send bald eagles down to the US in order to fill your supply that you'd wanted to have around. We have bald eagles around here all the time, flying up around the Petitcodiac River. Charmaine hasn't seen a magpie in Maine, but go to Colorado, you see them. Three Amigos crows. Do they do the same dance as the Three Amigos do in the movie? Kestrel hawks feed on mourning doves. Ooh, that's not good. 18 thumbs up. Yeah, 18 people on too. Thank you, Christopher. Monty gets woodpeckers and chickadees and red poles on their feeder in the winter. We used to put feeders up, and we've got grapes and things around. We don't need to put the feeders up. They just come and eat those instead. A black-capped chickadee. So a black-capped chickadee is your cheeseburger bird? Okay, well, we definitely have those. No dances, they just come by. Oh, it's too bad they didn't have nice sombreros and everything. They'd be really cool birds. Hummingbirds will be back, yep. Oh, Media says that the Australian skater won a silver medal. That's awesome. blue jays are guttural, yep. And they can be quite vicious. Another one of those birds that are Canadian, or the Canadian geese or whatever, that have a bit of attitude. Look nice, but can be a bit mean to the other birds around. Oh, it was on a trailer park episode. They called them the cheeseburger birds. Okay. Hey, Philip, thanks for dropping in. Yeah, we're over an hour already. It's almost time for us to say goodbye. But, Jenna, are you still on? I want to know what you've been up to. You've been away for a while, so I'm glad that you're here. Hopefully you're keeping up with your hobbies. Nope, Media's back off again. She's back to watching more. They do have 2 mockingbirds attack. Yeah, some birds really do have a lot of attitude. Fran says blue jays are her favorite bird. Love to see them at the feeder. The only blue jays I don't want to see around are the ones that are playing the New York Yankees. Canadian geese are the meanest birds they've ever heard. They may not, well, they're one of those ones, yes. You don't want to get anywhere near them if they've got babies, that's for sure. And they make a huge mess. They don't clean up after themselves like regular Canadians. So if you happen to be an avid golfer and Canadian geese come to visit you, they're going to make a mess of your golf course. Wait till you meet a cassowary bird. Even meaner, are they? Shanda's not a big fan of large feathered friends, let's say that. We went to, when we were in the UK once, we pulled into an area, a zoo of sorts, I guess. I think it was more of a gardening area. But we pulled into the parking lot, and there were peacocks that were standing on the cars that had come out of the garden. She did not like that. You have a geese flute. What is a geese flute? Is it an instrument that brings geese towards you or scares geese away? Geese snarl like turkeys. There are prehistoric birds in Africa. Once again, we are on very different conversations this week than we have on previous weeks. Every week is something different. I love that. And where we're an international group, it's nice to hear about different animals in different countries. What's popular there, what's commonplace, what you have to watch out for. Oh, you think it's for geese hunting? Okay. Well, you're not allowed to hunt geese here. Even though they make a mess. They are protected. This conversation's for the birds. Ha ha ha. You should try the flute. Your Canadian geese would disappear. Well, not if they're for hunting. It sounds like you would attract more of them. Maybe if you blow that flute, all of the Canadian geese from this side of the world will come over and visit you. There's a dove on the new international postage stamp. On the new Canadian stamps, see all the birds we have there? Those little stickers that come along with the cherry blossom stamps. You're not going to do it, okay. They will go to Norway. Yeah. You don't want more Canadians visiting Norway? They're very touristy birds. Yeah, it's the one I just showed you, David. The crow was a caw, caw, caw. And look at the grouse. You guys are funny today. Getting closer to Easter with all the bird talk. Maybe we should be talking about eggs and bunny rabbits and chocolate. We didn't talk about chocolate today, other than Girl Guide cookies. Stamp of the month, birds. We've done birds. I'm sure we've done birds already as a stamp of the month. I'm almost positive we've done that. I'll have to go back and look. Have you seen Angry Birds? I have seen the movie. I've played the game. Yes, the hard thing about Stamp of the Month is it continues for as long as it's done. We have to really change some of our themes because we get into a lot of it. You know what? I don't think I ever put. I got to put that I sent Debbie off hers. Easter eggs yet? No, I haven't bought any Easter eggs yet. We do birds as stamp of the month, but it's been a while. Yeah, it has been a while. It's true. Yeah, crows can attack people. They have long memories, so if you injure another crow, they'll tell their friends. They won't be happy. Hitchcock's Birds. Oh yes, the Birds. That was a good movie. That put my mother-in-law off birds. There. Yeah, anything you buy now for Easter, you're most likely going to eat before Easter. I need to trim it down a bit, just like Christopher has said before. I did have a salad last night, though. That was kind of nice. I had a Cobb salad. It was very good. I needed to have something that was a little less fatty. Now, it does have ranch dressing on it, so that's not always the healthiest, but I didn't use a whole whack of it. Just enough to give it some extra flavor. Back in the day, wealth meant ostrich feathers. Well, I'm glad I don't have to wear ostrich feathers now. Or maybe I couldn't afford them either way. Is that movie on Netflix? Is that Angry Birds? I think so. Monty. Yeah, it can be a scary movie. But if you realize it's just a movie, don't worry about it. Well, she's very lucky, Jane. Being pooped on by a bird is considered good luck. I had it. We were in Italy, not the last time we were there. That sounds present just to say the first time I was in Italy. But when we were kids after university, my wife and I went to travel Europe, and we were in Italy. And we were in Venice, and I had a bird poop on me. Actually, I think pooped on me here, not on my head, on my jacket. So I had to go into a local McDonald's because I thought that would be the best place to go to get cleaned up. So if your mother got pooped on too, good luck. Oh, Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock, Psycho. Norman Bates. I'm sure you can find the birds on, or Hitchcock movies on some streaming service. No, we never do feel lucky when that happens. As long as you could get cleaned up. In your hair would be worse, though, because it would be harder to clean up. Birds of Paradise fly up your nose. That wouldn't feel nice. Monty's not a horror movie fan. I'm generally not either. Your whole class was pooped on by a bunch of birds? By seagulls? That's a lot all at once to get that many targets. You must have been walking under a flock as they just flew by to mass get you like that. How old were all the kids? Charmaine's getting off on a airplane? Fancy. Yeah, I think it's time to go. We've been on an hour and 10 minutes, and I've got to let people know, especially let my wife know that the live stream's done so she can make some more noise again. All right, you guys can look up the Birds as a musical group too. Also put out good music. 17 of you. All right, Charmaine's going, so the rest of us are going too. It's been fun. Thank you so much for tuning in and talking about birds this week. All right, we'll see everybody soon. Have a magical week.